I don't see enough people talking about how hard it is for burnt out women to go back to structures and masculine containment after you burn out. Like literally, it's so hard, man. Like I'm struggling. Um, yeah, I spend most of my life in my masculine energy, like pretty much all of my life. I'm 32, and I only recently, not even a year ago, I stopped being in my masculine and started like actually embracing my feminine. And I noticed how instead of just balancing, I went to the other extreme, man. I went to the extreme feminine side. And I feel like I sort of created this fear within me about going into my masculine because I had such a bad association with it. It even affected my money mindset, like I started seeing being in my masculine as this horrible thing because my body remembers the burnout, right? So I went into my hyper feminine and I've been like floating and channeling for the past year, and which is great. Like I see my content, I get a lot of messages of people being like, oh my god, this really helped me, this reel or this video really helped me, or the conversation we had, because I completely opened my heart. I became a lot more open to conversation with people, a lot more open to, I've always been empathic, like an empath, and I've always helped people. I've always wanted to, but I became less boundaried. I became more in service to absolutely anyone. And that's crazy, because that was burning me out as well. So it's got to the point that, thanks to someone that I met who challenged my money mindset, I started working on that and I started realizing, oh my God, like I actually have this really negative association with money now, or with structure, because my body is scared of going back into the hyper masculine. So from like 2 months ago, I started building back my masculine, but like properly, like not only my inner structure, because my inner masculine is great, like, integrity, accountability, my word means something. If I say I'm going to do something, I fucking do it. I don't need like a proper, I thought I didn't need like a proper routine, like rigid, of like scheduling every hour of my day, because, I make a list and I get everything that I want done, basically. But then when it comes to business, when it comes to actually making a living, I had this like bad association with the masculine in business, I kept just doing my offerings way too cheap, or, because I thought it was humble. I thought it was like, I was helping people. And not only that wasn't serving me, but that wasn't helping anyone. Because when you give someone something so cheap or for free, their brain doesn't even value it the same way. It just doesn't, and you're sending this signal to the universe that you don't know your worth or you don't know your value. Dude, it's been this massive unraveling of having to look at everything, in my mental folder of what the hell am I doing, bro? Like, it's like I see it a lot in women, this like martyrdom thing of like, oh, I'm gonna give myself to the collective. And it's like, bro, you're not helping anyone. You're not helping yourself. You need to take care of yourself first, like getting paid for your gifts is actually just energetic reciprocity, and yeah. And I'm not judging like broke people or anything like this, but you shouldn't lower yourself or your standards because other people haven't hacked the basics, or the 3D. And I'm not saying this from privilege, I come from nothing. I literally come from nothing, from zero. Like, I come from moving to London with 200 fucking euros and a backpack and nobody, you know? And building, and yeah, like every time every time I had a goal in my mind, I kept my eyes on the price. And everything I wanted, I fucking made it happen. You know, no fluff of like, oh, manifesting. Nah, man. I knew what I wanted and I fucking went for it. And if this job didn't exist, I will make sure I will talk to the manager or to the owner and fucking sell myself. And I made it. I've made people create roles for me in their business because I showed them my value because I knew my value, you know? Fucking hell, I had no shame. I was like, what the hell do I have to lose? Nothing. You know, for me, losing or rejection or anything like this, it was never like a shameful thing. For me, like rejection is literally divine redirection. It's like, you know, if that door doesn't open, don't worry, I'll find another fucking door. It's all good, you know, it means you're not aligned with me, and that's cool. And a lot of people take this as like selfishness or, you know, self entitlement or like all of this fucking bullshit, man. Because, you know, this world doesn't want you to win. It just doesn't, you know. You have to like go in and be like, nah, man, you know, I actually know how humble I am and how much I want to help the world and all of this stuff. But yeah, anyway, on a rumble, yeah, no one talks about how hard that is to go back to systems and structure. Like, look behind me. This is all my fucking ideas now. You know, I was like, fuck it, man. I'm going to actually put everything down, sit my fucking ass, just write it down. Just write it down and see what happens, you know. And I had this idea, you know, of this thing that I wanted to build and create. And, you know, and I can feel the triggers in my body. I can feel like how my head is like, my shadow is like not allowing me to sit and build from fear, you know, from being like, oh my God, what if this doesn't work? What if no one sees it? What if I do it for nothing? What if I look stupid? What if, you know, all of these things that I didn't have time to feel before when I was in survival, you know, and now that I'm not in survival, they're all coming up. And it seems like, it seems crazy to me because I've never felt this level of like, you know, of like block, you know, and I know where it comes from. It usually comes from your ego not wanting change, you know, your ego actually realizing the value in what you're doing and being like, I don't want to do this because doing this will mean change. Your whole life will change, even if it's for good, you know, even if it's like change from success. It's crazy, bro, you know. So I've really been trying to take it slow and not have like a rigid schedule, but at least sitting my ass down for a couple of hours a day. Just being like, look, couple of hours a day, just put shit down on a paper or on a document or whatever, you know. And honestly, it's been helping so much. Like, I go on walks every day of like maybe 1 or 2 hours. Sometimes I go for 3 or 4 hours on a walk because it's like my body has so much energy that I need to burn. And I'm not going to the gym at the moment because I honestly, fuck, man, I hate going to the gym alone, you know. I honestly prefer going to the gym with a man because then it makes other men not come close. And it's something that really pisses me off, you know, when men come and hit me. It's just something, I don't know, man, you know, I just don't. So I'm not going to the gym at the moment. And that's making me walk a lot. Like the other day I walked for 4 hours, man. It's too much, you know. But it is what it is, you know. You gotta work with what you have. Yeah, it's crazy, man, you know, to work on all this. And I feel this like block to sitting down and doing this thing, even if I know that it's really valuable. And even if it fails, you know what I mean? It's not even about that. It's not even about the end outcome. It's about me putting down what I think will be of value for whoever the fuck, you know, finds it, and, you know, to help whoever it's my way of helping within my capacity, you know. Yeah, anyway, so if you're in your hyper feminine after being burned out, you're gonna find this block. Probably. You know what I mean? I don't want to jinx it for you. But just be aware that if you haven't been in your feminine your whole life, I mean, and I have been in my feminine, you know, I've always been like, my inner child is playing, man. It's always been like this, you know. I'm really good at that. I think that's why I've healed so much trauma, because I've always had so much fun, you know. I always find fun in the day because I'm a fucking trickster as well. I love laughing. But yeah, when it comes to business and building something long lasting, you gotta sit down, man. You gotta sit down. You gotta write. You gotta go through all of this shit. Write your vision, write your goals, write your why. Fuck the how, and let it come through. That is literally where I'm at. Fuck the how. I'm just gonna go, sit down, write all of these things. And yeah, when I'm on a walk, they literally like come through. Like as soon as I clear my head, I had to take my phone out of my pocket the whole time and just be like writing stuff on the notes app on my phone, because things keep dropping in. And it's like the more I clear my head, the more things drop in. I guess the more in my feminine I am. And it's a little bit hard to sit and structure this. I honestly feel like this is why I love living with someone. You know, like I live alone and I love living alone. Like I really love living alone. It's like the best. It's not the first time I live alone. But I do prefer living with someone because it kind of like helps me co-regulate and have some sort of like rhythm. Like if I live alone, I end up going to bed at like 4 a.m. sometimes, writing. And it's like, granted, it's great to have creativity and to let it flow and all that. But I need to be careful, you know, I need to have a little balance, man. It's so hard to find the balance. But yeah, it's always a work in progress, isn't it? Like, I'm really good at timing it, like scheduling with my cycle. That's something I've hacked. But like timing it with the calendar or the clock, it's not great. So yeah, if you have any tips for this, let me know in the comments. If you relate to this, let me know. I think I'm hacking it, to be honest. I think I'm getting there. It's just about sitting the fuck down for a couple of hours, locking in, putting everything on like silence. I mean, everything in my phone is on silence anyway. I don't have any notifications, not from WhatsApp, not from Instagram, and on these apps. I don't do any of this stuff, you know. I have set times for that stuff because I just feel too much pressure. You know what I mean? Like I just feel too much incoming into my brain, and I just can't. It gets me scrolling, you know. Used to get me scrolling, and not good, man. So yeah, sitting down, couple of hours, scheduling, a little bit of structure, not rigid, not like every day 1 p.m. 2 p.m. like I used to do when I was working. But yeah, I'm really seeing the value in actually building my outer masculine structure on my own. I think maybe this is like the next level. I need to hack, you know, having like a proper non-rigid masculine structure outside of me. And that's my share for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I am not procrastinating or anything. Fuck. I'm not even gonna show you how much I'm writing because everything is a mess, okay? But yeah, get a blackboard, write everything you want to do, write all of your ideas, do them, and don't push, but get it fucking done. Get it fucking done. I think the difference between success and failure is the ability to sit through feelings and doing things anyway. You know, not bypassing your body, but realizing where your shadow is coming in at play and being like, oh, I don't want to do this because you might succeed and everything might change, which is really interesting. Anyway, have a beautiful day. Speak soon.